Do love my cheese. Whoa, are we recording? Oh gosh, guys, sorry, I was just eating my cheese. Well, in today's video, I'm actually gonna be talking about the top 10 things you need to know before moving to Wisconsin. If you're considering moving to this area, there's a lot of things to know about each and every different state from a culture perspective, weather, you know, what you gotta drive in the winter, all this stuff, and what foods are good. The first thing I really should talk to you guys about is the weather. As you can see, I'm actually on top of my roof right now. I got a hoodie on. It's super nice. What is it, November 2nd today? Super nice day out. This is what you can expect in the fall. Hoodie weather, I got my jeans on. This is probably my favorite weather of the entire year. You can't see any trees from here, but the leaves are changing color and all that fun stuff. But a couple things you need to know. Wisconsin winters are cold from about December 1st to probably end of March, maybe mid-April. It's frigid here, maybe even earlier than December 1st. That's something you're gonna wanna know before moving here, especially if you're moving from someplace like Florida or Texas or something where it doesn't necessarily get that cold. So invest in a good winter jacket. It's something that you cannot go without here in Wisconsin. So what happens the other 9 months of the year, right? We got springtime. It's kind of sloshy and wet outside, so keep that in mind. But summertime is such a beautiful place here in Wisconsin, and there's so many things to do, from golfing, hiking, swimming, boating, pretty much anything you can think of doing outdoors. I'd throw your TV away for the summer. Spend all your time outside having campfires. It's a great spot to do so. The second thing I want you to know about Wisconsin is we have lakes. So Minnesota likes to brag. They got in all their license plates that they have 10,000 lakes. The state of 10,000 lakes, right? Wisconsin has more lakes than Minnesota. I'm just gonna clear that up right now in this YouTube video. We got tons of lakes. Actually, 3% of the entire area of Wisconsin is covered by water, which is awesome, especially if you head north up in Wisconsin. You're gonna have more and more lakes, and it's a very big touristy second home area, especially northeast, northwest, all that area. The other thing is that Wisconsin's surrounded by two great lakes, Lake Superior and Lake Michigan. Lake Superior is on the north side of the state, and Lake Michigan is on the east side of the state, which makes Wisconsin a pretty unique place for how much coastline we have, which makes there really a lot of great spots to visit on the north and east side of the state. Number 3 that you need to know about Wisconsin is that Wisconsin is great for day trips or weekend trips. There's so many places that you can go for a couple days and explore and have a great time. A couple of my favorite places is definitely Apostle Islands up in the northern tip of Wisconsin. So if you're moving to Wisconsin and you're considering moving to like Madison, Milwaukee, or the southern part of the state, that's probably more than just a weekend trip. But if you're living up in Eau Claire or Wausau or anywhere near there, that's just a few hour drive. And I pretty much make a trip there every single summer to explore the Apostle Islands. And the Apostle Islands, I believe, is 13 or 14 different islands that are spread over like a 15-mile area on the very northern tip of Wisconsin in Lake Superior. And it's really well known for the sea kayaks. So kayaking, boating, all that stuff up there is just super awesome. And honestly, whenever I go up there kayaking and stuff, I almost forget I'm in Wisconsin. I think people just overlook this park and this area part of Wisconsin so much because it's such a northern tip. But it's awesome. The top visited state park in Wisconsin is Devil's Lake. And I would say the exact same thing about this location is that Devil's Lake, when you're hiking around it, it's like a 5-mile hike around. You don't have to go the full 5 miles if you don't want to. But one of the best things about that is you literally don't feel like you're in Wisconsin. You think you're hiking Colorado or some state out west. It's just amazing. The same thing out there. The water, I don't think they allow for motorboats out there. So it's crystal clear water, and it's just a great spot to paddleboard, kayak, fish. There's actually two different beaches. Every time I go out there when it's above 80 degrees in the summer, it is literally packed with people, which pros and cons to that, right? But I'm just saying it's a very popular spot to visit, and you also got to as well. And that's located just south of Wisconsin Dells in Baraboo. and probably north of Madison, maybe 30 minutes to 50 minutes. The next spot that I would definitely recommend you guys visiting is Door County. I would say this time of year when it's getting cooler and the leaves are changing color would probably be the best time to go out there, because Door County, so Wisconsin is shaped like this. This little thumb out here, this is Door County, and it's surrounded by, I believe, Lake Michigan, and it's just a great spot. There's a lot of wineries out there and breweries, and a lot of Airbnbs you guys can rent out, and a couple islands you can hop out to. Just a good spot for sightseeing. Number 4, I'm not sure if you've heard about these Packers or not, but we're the most obnoxious and loyal fans of the Green Bay Packers. Whether you're a football fan or not, you will not be able to live here in Wisconsin without hearing about the Packers constantly. Lambeau Field, even if you're a Packer fan or not, we have some of the best fans out there, and definitely make a trip to Lambeau Field, go through the Hall of Fame, go to a game. It's just a very special spot for people here in Wisconsin, and definitely is worth something checking out. Well, I gotta do this, guys, sorry. Ugh. Make sure my stomach doesn't pop out here. Oh man, you guys are gonna watch me struggle. All right. Well, beer, cheese, football, and beer. So, if you know anything about Wisconsin, you know that we are very, very proud cheeseheads. Speaking of cheese, I need a little snack. The Packers, Lambeau Field, you don't come to Wisconsin without being a Packer fan, all right? If you're gonna visit Wisconsin, you may be converted to a Packer fan, maybe not. Regardless of whether you're a Packer fan or you even like football or not, I would definitely recommend taking a trip to Lambeau Field because it's such a huge part of our culture here in Wisconsin. Go Pack, go. All right, guys, well, Wisconsin's known as, oh gosh, the Wisconsin's Dairyland, all right? So cheese is a way of life here in Wisconsin. In the early 1900s, actually, pretty much everybody was a dairy farmer or had something to do with agricultural jobs. And Wisconsin is still one of the top producers of cheese and butter and all that stuff here in Wisconsin. So just know if you come here, you gotta try the cheese curds. So since I just talked about the food category of cheese and butter, let's move on to drinking, right? One of the most important things you need to know while you're moving to here in Wisconsin is that drinking is literally ingrained in the culture here in Wisconsin. And if you're from a state that's not normal, it's gonna be a culture shock when you move here. Because if you go out for dinner with a bunch of friends, it's very, very high likely chance that every single person is gonna have a drink. And a couple of the most popular drinks here in Wisconsin are gonna be Spotted Cow. It's a beer that's only sold here in Wisconsin. So if you're not a drinker and you wanna try it, just try it. Then you can just say you've tried it, right? And the brandy old fashions are very popular. They were popularized when supper clubs were a huge thing. So you go to a supper club, you get a brandy old fashion, and now, bam, it's just ingrained into the culture in Wisconsin. It's really not unlikely to go to any sort of social gathering where beer's being served, cocktails are being served. It's just part of culture. Number 7, you may need an all-wheel drive vehicle, right? I'm gonna loop back to, I think, number 1, where I talked about the winters around here. Depending on where you live and depending on how long your commute is, you may need an all-wheel drive vehicle to get to and from work or bring your kids to school, whatever it might be, because we get a lot of snow around here. I grew up in the country, had a 2-wheel drive car. I don't know how that 99 Pontiac Grand Prix got through as much snow as it did. It was a front-wheel drive car, but there was times where I got stuck. So just keep that in mind. You move here, you might want to get an all-wheel drive car. Number 8. There is parts of Wisconsin that are very, very, very rural, right? When you think of city life, you think of Milwaukee, you think of Madison, you think of Green Bay, you think of Eau Claire, but outside of those bigger cities, it is very rural, right? You're talking little farm towns that used to have a railroad track going through it, the railroad shut down, and now, bam, you have this little rural town that has not grown for 50 years, and there's still people living there, right? So if you drive probably north of Highway 8 in Wisconsin is known as like the line of you're going into no man's land up there. There's people up there, but not as much. There's not as much industry, not as many roads. And that goes hand in hand with real estate prices, right? If you're looking for something really cheap and you want to be a nomad off the grid, go north of Highway 8. By the way, I am a real estate agent, so if you are looking to buy something here in Wisconsin, I live in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, but if you're looking at other places around Wisconsin, make sure you reach out to me. I can connect you with a good real estate agent anywhere in the state. Number 9, 2 fastest growing cities in the state of Wisconsin. Number 1 is going to be Madison, Wisconsin. That comes with, there's so many things to do there. The school's there. There's so much industry, hospitals, all that type stuff. So there's a major draw to that city. It's a growing, flourishing people, and growth, I think, attracts more people to that area because there's so many job opportunities. And number 2 is actually right here, Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Eau Claire, Wisconsin has about 70,000 people here, and we've been growing year over year, and actually the second fastest growing city in the state of Wisconsin, which is kind of cool. I can tell you from my perspective over the last 10 years on why Eau Claire is growing so fast is because they've literally revamped downtown Eau Claire and the structure of Eau Claire. So we're actually sitting in downtown Eau Claire. You guys can't really see it. I actually did make a video. If you want to watch a whole video of the downtown Eau Claire, how revamped it is, how nice it is, we'll actually attach a video here so you can click here and watch that later. But Eau Claire has definitely been, a lot of money's been pumped into Eau Claire to make it a better spot, and that's what's been attracting more people here. All right, guys, number 10, people are Midwest nice around here. People are just old-fashioned. They'll offer you a ride when you need a ride, even when you don't want to, you think maybe you shouldn't accept a ride, right? People are just that way around here. And I think that if you guys visit here in Wisconsin, especially when you come visit me here in Eau Claire, if you do come into Eau Claire, make sure you stop at my office downtown. Just Google my real estate business, which is down in the links down here. Make sure you visit me, honestly, guys. I've actually had 2 or 3 people in the last few months visit me from Washington, Texas, Colorado. They're swinging through. They said, hey, we have to come visit you and Daisy, right? You know, when those people did come to visit me, they all mentioned how nice the people were around here and how much they were attracted to this area because of how nice people were. And also, if you guys haven't, make sure you subscribe to this channel and watch the rest of my videos where we describe more of what it's like to live here in Eau Claire. When you come visit Eau Claire, just keep in mind, people are Midwest nice, and they might even offer you a drink. All right, guys, thanks for visiting me today on my YouTube channel. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing. This is getting me motivated to make more videos. And as always, reach out to me if you're thinking about moving to Wisconsin or Eau Claire specifically. Love to see you guys. Have a good day.